Her Heart Can. And we want you all to enjoy yourself, pick up as much information that you can. And again, thank you again for coming. We're glad that everybody was able to make it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hearns. And now we're going to have a short bio speak from Ms. Jessica Rice. Jessica, come on up.
Try not to take too much of your time getting through this. She said, my name is Jessica Rice. I'm currently the program director on the board of directors for Her Heart Can. I'm also a licensed social worker in the state. So I just wanted to kind of walk you through my experience and how I got to Her Heart Can. Like to start with some statistics that you may or may not know about the population that Her Heart Can will be working with. So Texans Care for Children report that teens in foster care are 5 times more likely to get pregnant. They're twice as likely to drop out of high school. These children are also more likely to experience homelessness, substance abuse, mental health challenges, incarceration, and require local and federal assistance to survive. Aging out of the system increases their risk of pregnancy by 300%. And 49% of girls who age out are pregnant by the time that they're 19. And usually that's not their first child either. In 2019, the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services reported 322 kids in foster care who were pregnant that year. 289 kids in foster care were parenting their child. And 43 babies were placed in foster care before they turned 1. And sadly, according to the CDC, infants born to teen mothers are more likely to die before their first birthday. The next year in 2020, Texas saw a decline in teen birth rates. There's been a decline since the 80s. So that year in 2020, 22,641 teenage girls aged 15 to 19 gave birth to a child. Healthy Futures of Texas report that in the next year, in 2021, there were 258 teen births in Denton County alone, which is an average of 1 birth every 34 hours. Currently, for the first time in 15 years, teen birth rates have increased as of the November 2023. And Texas still tops the nation in repeat teen births, meaning they more teens in Texas give birth to their second child before the age of 20. So I want you to try to imagine, if you can, what that would be like to be in that situation, to be that teenager, find out you're pregnant, what you would do next, especially if you're in foster care. What if the foster home you're currently in is not equipped, willing, or able to
those facilities, and they are saying that if this funding stream isn't resumed, they will run out of money at the end of February, and that humanitarian effort will collapse. So, Ralph said, just leaving us off right here.
Um, So Sharon asked me to share a little bit of my story, and although I never ended up in foster care, I did end up pregnant at 19. And that's her back there. She's almost 15 now. And to say that we were absolutely terrified is the understatement of the situation. No business being pregnant or raising a child at the time. We did not have supportive family. We were pretty much on our own. And thankfully I had graduated high school already. Barely. I graduated with a 1.6 GPA. And somehow made it here. I honestly think that we graduated because I didn't want to come back. Yeah, there we were, 19. We went from working with our friends, doing whatever we choose. We both had parents that weren't necessarily involved and sort of let us do whatever we want. We went from that to pregnant. We had no plans, no direction. Like I said, I had a 1.6 GPA. I was like, who cares? I'm not going to college. It's not for me. I don't want to go anyway. And then all of a sudden we had to figure out real quick how to get it together. When I was first pregnant, I was living with my dad's girlfriend. That didn't last long. So then I lived with my dad. That didn't work out either. Then we lived with my now husband's parents. That didn't last very long either. That didn't work out. Around 5 months pregnant, we were living in our friend's sunroom and sleeping on a pull-out couch. A couple months after that, we got a first apartment. It was $450 a month. Graduating right now. And my husband at the time made $900 a month at his job. So we were not in a good place. Then she surprised us early. She was born at 34 weeks and 5 days. 5 pounds 4 ounces. Teeny tiny thing. And then I didn't, some of your parents, I don't think anyone can tell you what being a parent is like until you've experienced it. I don't think you can really comprehend how expensive a child can be until you've had a child. So I stayed home with her until she was 4 years old. Thankfully, the public school where we lived had a preschool program. Prior to that, if I had worked, it would have solely been to pay for childcare. And there was really no need. Fast forward a little bit. I worked really hard. Our motto, me and my husband, is just never stop, no matter what. We really wanted to be an example to our kids to that, not to let anything hold you back, and never stop. So, ended up getting my master's degree at TCU.
Nice.
Right.
It was awesome. And home loans, payments. When I graduated from TCU, I was I have 2 kids. My middle one, who's now 8.5, and I was pregnant with my third, who is now 5.5. So it took me a long time, and I was 29 when I graduated. Fast forward a little bit. I'm now a social worker at a high school up north, North Texas, and that is thankfully where I met my 17-year-old, who doesn't want anyone to look at her, but I met her through just writing at the school. She's not in a good situation, was in foster care. After I left that position, I got a call one day from CPS saying that she had nowhere to go, and she had given them my phone number and wanted to know if she could help us. And knowing her situation, I mean, she really didn't have anywhere else to go, so of course we said yes. And 3 weeks ago, actually, it was 2 weeks exactly, wasn't it, the court date? We had our final court hearing with CPS, and they terminated parental rights and gave us the custody, so we're done with CPS. Mackenzie actually, her trouble, like I'm telling that Sharon, the chance meeting, in an emergency room. Actually, we just got to talking, and you know, Sharon, she can go on and.
Yes.
And she told me about her heart again. I jumped at the opportunity. I said I want to get involved. That's everything that her can is about. It's the reason I got into social work in the first place, to be that resource that I could have used. I didn't know what the word resource was. I'd never heard it when I was 19. And I think that's why I didn't need for heart can. I North Texas needs for heart can. Statistics are just, when I was researching, it was just unbelievable, and I don't think anyone would disagree with me that those numbers are just unacceptable. I think despite, you know, putting aside our religious affiliations, our political views, anything that might divide us, I think we're all here today because we see the need for this service in the community. And I believe that Heart can meet that need. I can imagine what it would have been like to have a service like that, although I wasn't in foster care. Just somewhere to go for answers. You know, what do I do? Where do I go? Thankfully, there was a friend that was like, "Hey, did you know you can get like health insurance?" Thanks. I didn't know that. So I'm excited where her heart can is going to go. I'm excited for the need it's going to meet and the lives it's going to touch. And I'm excited to be a part of it. And I'm really excited that all of you are here tonight.
Thank you.
To support us.
Oh, yes.
And what you can, and also be listening that you are part of it. That's all I know.
Thank you, Jessica. As you can tell just from Jessica's story, that without having those bridges, as you heard us say, she went from one place to the next place, another place. So it was the bridges that got her to that master's degree. She couldn't do that by herself. It was the support of others, and someone extending that olive branch out to her. And that's why it's so important for you guys to be here tonight. And I'm grateful that you're here just to even have interest in learning more about Her Heart Can, because it's such a program that's needed, not just in this community, all over. Teen pregnancy didn't just start, right? We all know 1 or 2 people in our family, might be you, it has been me. I was a teen mom, 16 years old. I experienced going to a shelter home. Thank God it was a shelter home when I ran away, because I remember them taking me to a detention center and they said, well, she didn't commit a crime. So then they said, we'll call Department of Human Services. They said, well, you don't want her. She got a baby. We don't know what to do with her. Thank God it was a shelter home. And they said, we got a bed. And they took me and my child in for that night. I only had to stay there that one night. But the people there were so passionate about what they were doing. And, you know, when you're a teenager, you don't know, you're afraid, you're scared. You got this baby. Where do I go? How do I do this? Everybody's looking at me. I'm being judged. And your self-esteem is just squashed. But having someone to say, hey, I'm here for you. I got you. It's going to be okay. Just those encouraging words mean so much. And had it not been for just those encouraging words, those supportive people, those olive branches, I wouldn't be the woman that I am today. My daughter's 37 years old. I'm proud to say I am a doctor now, went to school, 2 masters. So thank you. Thank you. But there's so many people. The shoulders I stand on is near and far. I didn't get there by myself. So that's why it's important to have people like yourself here who's supporting, who want to support, who want to know more about the program. And I'm so grateful that we have the mayor of Denton here. And thank you for coming out, taking the time. If you want to have a word or two to say to the people, by all means, stand and come over and say something. We want to acknowledge you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I too, first, I want to say I'm super excited to be here at Glitz and Glam. And so always happy to be here. Always happy to learn more, right, about how the city can come alongside and help. But for me to hear that story, to hear your story and kind of understand where we can plug in, where we can help. But it's a story that and a message that's resonates with me from my time when I served with CASA. I was in Dallas County, but I served with CASA for a number of years and understand that court process, understand CPS, Department of Family Services, whatever you call it, and navigating those things and understanding that court process. What a blessing. You know, I don't know that enough people understand how fortunate you are to get through that process and have terminated rights and not have other people reach in and claw back. And if you've never understood that process, to navigate it is so significant. And you have somebody that's willing to serve well, but then you have a family member that pops up out of nowhere and complicates things. I mean, it is just a tremendous process. So yes, having someone, and I was thinking about it, listening to your comments, the other thing that's great for me is someone that has the right level of tough love, right? There's enough tough and enough love, right? And I'm terrible at it, right? It takes people that are really good at it. But having been there, you understand, hey, we got to meet you where you are. We got to build you up. But then we also got to say, hey, let's make better decisions, right? But you miss sometimes, right? And okay, great. We're going to love you through that and get back to it. So really excited to hear what the vision is so that we can then come alongside and help. And my mom went back to school while working. And it's hard enough being a parent, a 2-parent home, right? And I was a single dad for a bit with my older 2 kiddos. And so I understand a small degree what that's like, right? And so really want to make sure we can help and make sure we can make life a little easier or take away some of those concerns where we can plug in or just be an advocate, right? If it's a state level thing, then hey, if we're in Austin, let's talk about this great organization that's doing great work. Or if we're in DC, let's talk about this great organization. And that networking that's in this room will really go a long way too. So happy to be here. I will have to zoom in at the tail end. I got to go divide and conquer. I got to put down the 7-year-old while my wife gets a 13-year-old. But it's important for me to be here and just kind of celebrate this opportunity and come in and learn more. So thank you for the opportunity to speak. Thank y'all for being here and happy to help. Just don't hesitate to ask. She's good about that.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll know what we need to do.
And many of you know Sharon, she does not take no for an answer. She is very, very passionate about what it is that she does for us, helping people. She has a heart of gold. And when someone is so passionate about loving people, supporting people, you can't help but gravitate toward them and want to help them reach that goal to help other people. We have a short video now that I want to fix your attention to. Am I correct? All right, do we need to dim the lights so that everybody can see it?
Are you ready to eat? Are you ready to eat?
So I'm just grateful that she has the heart, and it's the perfect name for this organization, Her Heart Can, because it's her heart, because there's no money. You've been in non-for-profit, I was a cost in Number as well, and I have a non-for-profit organization. There is no money. You're doing it strictly because you love what you do. You're passionate about it. It's something that touches your soul. And you sleep at night, you're thinking about how can I help? What else can I do? Sharon is that person. So I'm behind her. I'm bagging her up, supporting her in any way that I can. And again, the fact that you all are here speaks volume. And we got all these people online who's tuned in. Words just can't express that everyone wants to help and do something. So we got to find some solutions. That's why you guys are here. So I'm going to have Sharon Harris to come up, talk about Her Heart Can. Sharon, come on up. It's your turn.
Thank you all for coming. I really, truly appreciate you all. And I know that each of you all work in different aspects of with kids in foster care. And I know the challenges, and I know we all know the challenges, and I greatly appreciate you all again for taking your time. So I'm gonna start here.
She got notes so she can stay on course. You know, you have to.
I'm that person that goes all over the place. So I'm gonna stay focused, guys. I'm gonna stay focused. Okay, I am the founder of Her Heart Can. I'm reaching out to you all today to share my deep passion of addressing a critical issue within the foster care system. Having dedicated over 13 years working with kids in foster care, my husband and I have encountered significant challenges that we are committed to addressing and correcting. One of the major challenges that has deeply struck a chord with me is the dilemma of teenage girls in foster care who become pregnant. This issue maintains a cycle of hardship for our teens. And I am determined to make a positive impact. From my extensive experience, I have observed that once a girl in foster care becomes pregnant, finding suitable placement for her becomes a vast challenge. And I'm looking around because we all know this challenge, right? Finding suitable placement for her becomes a vast challenge. The challenge is further compounded when the teenager also has behavioral problems or has been trafficked, as there is a shortage of foster homes willing to accept such cases. Just imagine the struggle faced by a pregnant teenage girl with behavior issues. The shortage of suitable placements become even more acute. When she gives birth and needs to find a suitable home for her and her baby. Her heart can. Vision is to create a nourishing space within Denton County that will enable young parents to become self-sufficient and thrive in a supportive environment. Denton's growing community presence and opportunity for these parents to grow alongside the area. And we believe that by locating our program in this vibrant and dynamic setting, we can offer a valuable support system for these young families. Her Heart Can aims to start the supporting expected mother in their final trimester of pregnancy, providing them with the essential education in childcare, parenting. Once the child is born, we will continue to offer comprehensive parenting courses, as well as assistance in pursuing education, job skills, apprenticeship programs. Our goal is to empower these young mothers to build a stable future for themselves and their children, ensuring that they are financially capable of providing for their families. In addition, we are committed to providing ongoing mentorship and support even after they transition out of our program. It is crucial for these young mothers to have access to a supportive community and placement that is willing to accept both of them and their new infants. That's a challenge, guys. This is where we believe the community can play a vital role in making meaningful difference. We are seeking a location, sponsors, and funding to ensure the success implementation of our program. We aim to collaborate with various organizations and entities, including CASA members, placement agencies, adoption agencies, medical facilities, mental health organizations, therapists, Denton ISD, and pregnancy resources within Denton County and surrounding cities. We are aware of existing nonprofit organizations in the area and believe that by working together, we can fulfill a crucial gap in the service by providing a home for these pregnant teens in the city of Denton and surrounding cities. Thank you all for taking the time to consider this important issue. I look forward to possibly working together to create a brighter future for these teenagers in foster care. I said that we all know the challenges that these teens have. The hardest thing, I think, for us would be to find placement with. And I think that any of us, in this area can say where they're going to go. How can we find a home for them? Who are they going to go? Who's going to take them? And that's a challenge. And when we look back at it, it's us. Who else is going to take it? Who's going to do it? It's us. And it has fallen upon all of our hearts because we all want to do something for these girls. And I say girls, but we look back over it, it's also guys, because girls don't make babies by themselves. It's not just a solo gender, it's all of us. And it does touch, like Solanda said before, it affects all of us. It affects the community because they have to have jobs. Where are they going to work at? You know, we want to make sure that we're helping them with jobs. I look to Denton because Denton is growing. It's growing rapidly. I mean, I look around at the warehouses that's going up. I'm like, oh my God, who's gonna work these warehouses? You know, the stores that's going up. Who's gonna work these stores? We need to be able to give these young ladies and these young men the opportunity where they can work somewhere, where they'll have a decent place to live, how they'll be able to stop the cycle and be able to take care of themselves. I also reach out to Denton because of the transportation. Denton has bus service. It has the Go Zone. I'm like, oh my God, the van will come to the house and pick me up. I was like, this is wonderful. So for a teen to be able to come out and say, you know what, let me call for a bus service. I need to take my child to the doctor. That's great. I mean, you know, because everybody don't have a car. You know, everybody can't pay a car. No, you know, we're trying to get them with the basic items that they would need. And I think that's what, you know, our goal for Her Heart Can. That's what we're looking to do. So I ask you all, as a community, where do you see, or how do you see that we all can work together with this? Where do you see yourselves? Because I know I got various organizations. We have CASA here, we have placement agents, we have Arms Way, and I think all of us, we have therapists here. You know, how can we all collaborate together and come up with a better solution? Because to me, if somebody would have told me when I had my child, I don't know where you're going to go, or you can go here, but your baby can't go with you. And it's like, well, what are we teaching our kids? You know, what are we saying that is important to you? The value of your child is not important. So we're going to put you over here, but you know what? We don't have any space over here because you're, as they classify, you're a bad child. You're bad. We don't even want you. We have no space for you in Dallas at all, within the Dallas area. So off to Houston you go, off to San Antonio you go, off to Oklahoma you go. So it was like, okay, now where's the baby? Well, this is an infant. I'll take the baby. The baby can stay with me. The baby can stay with a family member, but you can't stay. Well, now, how are we going to get the mom with the baby? Well, we're going to have transport. Now, all of you all know transport is not the most reliable thing to get for a child that's in foster care. Try to call transport. It's like, we need somebody to transport this child from Houston to Dallas. Let's do it Tuesday. Okay, we can't find a transport. We don't have no way to get the child there. So now mom is over in Houston upset because she can't see her child. The foster parent or the residential treatment center that took her, she's acting out. She's going off. She's cursing all of them out because she wants to see her baby, which is rightfully so. You know, she wants to see her baby. Why are we denying that to her? But, you know, it's a hole in our system that we definitely need to address. And I'm very passionate about, I want to address the situation. I want us to come up with a better solution for this. And it's not a one night thing. It's not a one night process. This process is going to take, I mean, it's been going on for years and years and years. And as you know, you saw 3 homes in the state of Texas. You know, we still have Austin. We got, you know, San Antonio. We got Houston. So what is it? 1 home across the way, you know, and they're housing 8 kids. Where are the rest of them at? How many of them are, you know, separated from their child? I mean, how many parents we have if somebody wants to take your child away from you day one because you don't have a place to stay? How would you feel? And I think that's what, you know, makes me like, how would I feel if somebody just took my child away from me right after I had it, say, I got nowhere for you to go. Or you can go stay at this hotel over here for a short period of time. So let's think about that. And so I'll bring Solana back up with you.
I hope that the information that Sharon shared with you, as well as the video, have helped your perspectives on what you thought about Her Heart Can, and as well as to show you the facts. Numbers don't lie, right? To show you the facts of what's really going on. And as she stated, some of you are therapists, social workers, work with agencies, CASA members. So you see this day in and day out. This is nothing new to you. You know the challenges of how hard you're working, trying to work one case? How do you get resource for this child? So with us coming together, collaborating, putting our hands together, having a brain trust as well as a think tank together, that's how we're gonna help one girl at a time. As she stated, this is not something that's gonna happen overnight. It didn't start one night. It's not gonna finish in one night, but step by step, we'll get there. We'll start with, we already saw the Lullaby House. We saw the young lady who's doing something in Dallas. Her Heart Can is opening up in Denton. I believe and everything is going to work out the way it's supposed to work out because all of you all are here and I know you're going to support it. But we do need to start having a dialogue, you know, the conversation. What's the next steps? What do we do? Right? We're here. We all understand. How do we move the needle? And that's where you guys come in at, to say, hey, I know about this resource, or I'm thinking about this, or let me do that. She needs you. She needs your voice. She needs your support. Most importantly, she needs your dollars, right? Talk is cheap, but at the end of the day, it takes money to run a house, to run an agency. It costs. So we need your support. Right now, I would ask that you network with some of the people in the room. You might know some of the people in the room, again, because you're in the social service area. You've seen some of the same faces over and over again. Get reacquainted. Let's get more intentional about supporting this cause and helping the young ladies. You know, education is one thing. We got to build up the education. We got to meet them where they are. They're not going to come in up here. We got to meet them right where they are. Start right there. And once we meet them where they are, build up the confidence. Give them the support so they can become independent. Nobody really want to be dependent. They're dependent because they don't have a choice. They've lost hope. Right? When we're adults, we got it. And sometimes we lose hope. So can you imagine being 13, 14, not one baby, but two babies, and you in the foster system? I've been there, so I know. I'm speaking from experience. But thank God there was somebody who was supportive. There was somebody who gave me an olive branch. There was someone that kept pushing me. And I know it's never too late. So I'm counting on you all. And we're going to open the floor up for discussions. If anyone want to say anything, represent your organization, I'll give you that chance to do that now. And we're going to wrap this up and just start doing what we're supposed to do the work. So who wants to talk about where they're from, as far as the organization, who they're representing? Come on, Casa. Because I know Casa is strong worldwide.
Okay, Sharon. All right, I met Sharon at a coach. And yes, and I gave her my card and she connected and she invited me out. I'm happy that it came. I'm one of those people, I had a baby at 19, but I had supposed to for my family. I lived in rural Arkansas, but I had someone, so I get it. I've been working for Constance for 2 years and I understand all the challenges that are there. So I'm happy that you reached out. I'm gonna connect with you and try to brainstorm and try to do something. You know, Dallas County is now going to improvisation, so we kind of keep everything over there. But I live in Keller, I don't live in Dallas. And it's closer to you than I am there, and I want to do what I can.
Thank you. Thank you. All the warm hearts in here just makes my heart warm. Who else want to represent the organization? Who some other agencies we have here? Yes.
We're from Arms of Hope, we're a ministry inside of Christ. We actually have 2 residential treatment centers, but we do suffer as we do have to move them out of it. But we're actually a family center, so we help single parents, seniors. If you need some resources, that's what we do. And we let them know. So we really just do. just listened to the phone, we figured out what's going on and we have ways to with some of the we can help, sometimes you need help financially, find some furniture, you know, diapers, get them connected with their faith, God. And that's what they want, and offer community within our church. So that's what Karen is the director. I'm Karen.
Thank you. All right, anyone else?
Greetings, everyone. I'm going to say my wife, thank you, Sharon is a member of our church.
Okay.
And, my husband and family just do an awesome job of serving God's people wherever they are. So believe me, they are a wonderful example. Sharon is definitely living when she walks. What we do at our church is, like I each is a part of Global Community Connectors. We do events to help our veterans as well as helping others get jobs and get housing. So I want to be able to help with them to be able to get jobs. But also there was a program I was a part of in California in Oakland. And so what we would do was help with those who have homes where they would donate the homes for 7 years and be able to write that off. So we could be in prayer about that because there are a lot of empty homes and they donate them. We ask for 7 to 10 years. And so we have to be in agreement that we can get some.
All right, that's. As they would say, in the Baptist church, look at God, won't he do it? Thank you. I want to give a shout out to some sponsors who really, again, they stepped up. So Glitz and Glam events. This young lady opened up her doors. It's her beautiful facility. This is her facility. She opened it up. It's beautiful. So if you're thinking of an event, you're planning something, by all means, consider this place. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it. So thank you. She's one of the sponsors. Hooters, they donated. Fisher's 59, Costco, Bunts Cake, the board members of Her Heart Can. Am I missing anyone? I think that's about it. But right now, and all of you, yes. So thank you for coming out. Thank you for giving me your time, giving Her Heart your time. And when you leave from here, think about some of the stories that you've heard. Think about the statistics and the numbers.
And we have some raffle tickets over here. We can win a car.
Yes. Yeah, so there's a raffle, but I do want you to leave here with this on your mind. Just not Her Heart Can, but think about a young lady who might be in a situation and not know where she's gonna go with her baby. It's happening every day, every minute. Think about how you can help, what you can do, how you can help move it. You can't give up because there's somebody else that's pushing you. So when you think that you're by yourself, you're alone, just think about the people in this room and know that you're not by yourself. Your work is impacting. You are making a difference. So kudos to all of you. Thank you. And I think this, yes.
I'm part of the team. We did provide you guys a case in a jar.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't want y'all to know.
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention the free of the sponsor. Yes, we do. I'll show this for the people on Zoom because we do have some people on Zoom. But in this little package, tea and sweet sauce, you get a package of tea, a red velvet cupcake, as she stated, which is delicious, and just a little bit more information about Her Heart Can. So please feel free to grab one. There's plenty of soda. Eat up all the food. Take some cake. Don't go home empty-handed. And thank you, Zoom people in the virtual world. Sharon, you know how to cut this off?